So we started a journey from governance to having a data strategy towards AI. And then going back to the business value, bringing our board together, one of my responsibilities was to educate the board so that they can ask the right questions to us, how we are managing AI within, demystifying it. These are all the use cases came from our business side, and IT's responsibility was to bridge the gap, bringing the governance lens and making sure that all the data is there, clean data, refined data that adds value. So that has been our journey so far.
Is this a system of record for us, or is this a system of work?
So we treating it completely as a system of work. It is something that we know is going to be trained and is going to help us. We're going to do far better, and it is essential in everything we do.
So what we had to curate is essentially, before we took on any kind of AI direction, it really is not necessarily the tools itself, but really to answer the question, what problem are you trying to solve? That was our first problem. It really illustrates the need and also gives the clarity of how you aimed for that particular tool in the first place.
I think the interesting thing with AI is that everyone seems to have forgotten basic principles of how to go about managing a project. And suddenly, because it's so easy for somebody to go ahead and build something, prototype, vibe code, whatever you choose to call it, the whole concept of actually going back to, process, business need, and value seem to have gone out of the window. And part of the challenge has been stepping it back to really understand what's the issue we're trying to solve, what's the problem, and is AI the right tool? Essentially, AI is a set of tools as part of a broader toolbox.
We have a concept or theory that we can get impact at scale on processes, especially in a corporate environment. So we've taken a small process and we're piloting right now using the Copilot with Opus 4.6. We're teams recording people doing their job, so video and them describing step by step, feeding it into the model to have it tell us and document what it believes the process is functionally, and then also show visual diagrams of that, and then recommend the optimizations that can be done and what agents can come out of this. So we're through that. We're partway through that process. We're finding it very very strong, actually. So the learnings we're having along the way, though, are as you get this impact at scale, what is your governance process around managing agents? Because it's like application code. These agents, when you have impact at scale across processes, if you change them, you could have detrimental or big impacts to the organization.
I think from a public perspective, one of the most important pieces to identify the value and then the success, right? So how do we define success around the outcome and then what we're trying to achieve and solving what problems? And one of the areas from a Halton perspective, so we're focusing on all back-end office. So we're not touching clinical because there's also the ASIC piece that, if you're predicting, say, for example, a patient's DNA have certain disease, what do you do with that information? Do you share, do you not share? Those are some of the ethical dilemmas on the government side. And then with focus on the back-end office, really with the productivities, efficiencies, like, what else we can automate, streamline, optimize. Those are the keys. And the other big area, I think, to move around is the culture. So the culture of the organization is really important. People need to have understanding and appreciation of the AI technologies and what else is out there. A lot of focus on education to bring that level up to speed.
Are you building a platform or a collection of demos? And scalable programs that centralize identity, access management, data access, and then model routing, observability, and evaluation in one central place, and treating AI as infrastructure rather than features, they're the ones that are able to move to that next stage. You're trying to make sure that you're centralizing so that you have defense in depth. Your orchestration plane needs to provide that semantic context of what the agent is trying to do.
And when you look at traditional identity management, it's been by the department, division, business units, operating unit, etc. So that's one challenge that we're seeing a lot. The other part is that agentic will easily go horizontal across vertical divisions.
Yes, that's right.
And whether we like it or not, our companies are all the autonomous collective. They're all vertical divisions run by people that all come together at the quarter end and year end.
So we're going through this exercise now in our information security practices. They're a part of every session out there, and AI is the number one topic out there. And the information that's coming back is how we're going to manage non-human entities inside the organization. And from a standpoint of humans are great because they have their limitations. Access is set through identity and access management. But these identities will no longer be humans. So again, how they bridge and how you put the controls in place are extremely important for organizations.
On the identity aspect side, a lot of majority of the use cases that we are focusing on, they evolve around the data. So today I have multiple systems, 12 different 14 systems where you need to obtain the data. So we're actually focusing on building the identity data hub where the centralized data can be gathered. And then from a security standpoint as well, partnering with our agentic AI team to ensure that there's the gateways are present, right? So we can centrally monitor the agentic gateways, LLM gateways, MCP gateways, right, and the tooling, so that we have full observability into who has done the action, what the identity of that agent is, and what have they done, what are they authorized to do, etc.
All the governance piece is already in place, putting the right architecture, looking at security. What we're facing mostly in the SMB market is the fact that they're starting with pilots, and there's 1 and 2 pilots. There's no strategy, no architecture that's been developed, and now they're fighting how they will introduce the new platform on it and get everybody aligned on this. So this is really what we see. Large organization already started. They adopted AI. They start planning. Some false start. But they're rectifying the situation today.